Sport shows its greatest value when it is positively changing lives. Right now, a group of women who fled Afghanistan 4 years ago are going through a series of trials, hoping to revive their dreams and ambitions of playing as a national team. They'll have a coach which has been appointed by FIFA. They have support staff built around them. And when a team is finally named, they'll be known as the Afghanistan Women's Refugee Team. It's hard to imagine the personal journey that these women have been on, having to flee their home, leave behind their friends, their family, and everything they had ever known, hoping they would find safety in foreign lands. And now, with one training camp already held and 2 more to come under the watchful eye of the FIFA-appointed coach, Pauline Hamill, their emotions again must be running high, with the possibility that they may yet achieve what the Taliban had taken away, their right to play for their country, and particularly for the women who remain in Afghanistan, sidelined from public and professional life. Today on The Sports Ambassador, you'll hear from the captain of the team that fled Afghanistan, Fatima Yousefi, as well as the coach, Pauline Hamill, selected because of her experience in previously coaching Saudi Arabia's women's youth team. But there's another group of young players from Afghanistan who want to be given the same opportunity. They are the girls of Afghanistan's youth team. FIFA originally helped get the women out of Afghanistan and into Albania, where they were supported for a period of time. Now, they're in Houston, Texas. Until recently, they thought their dreams of playing the game they loved had been robbed entirely. That's until they were discovered by 2 American women, Rachel Fabre and Sarah Labowitz, their volunteer coach and volunteer manager. And together, they are now calling for FIFA to pay attention and include them in this ambitious program to create Afghanistan's women's refugee team. Thanks for joining me on The Sports Ambassador. You can hear the interviews in full on the podcast, which you can find on Patreon or Substack, or stay right here on YouTube for edited highlights. We begin with the experienced coach and former player for Scotland, Pauline Hamill, who represented her country 141 times. Most recently, she was the coach of Saudi Arabia's women's youth team before she was tapped on the shoulder by FIFA and offered this most unique opportunity.
I think that's one of the things I tried to do from the very start, was put myself in the players' shoes. And, you know, they had been in the international wilderness almost for 4 years. And whilst there's a lot about their journey that is difficult to, you know, fully understand, I tried to listen as best I could. And I think for those players, they want back to playing football, you know, in simple terms, and in an environment where they feel safe, where they feel, you know, that they can really express themselves. And that was purely because they let us into their journey. You know, I think it's not really about us as staff, I don't feel. I think it's about how we can join the players' journey, because for me it's this is a part of their journey, and we're the really privileged people that get the chance to share that with them. And for me, across that week, to see them grow day by day and become more trusting, to be able to express themselves, to know that they could feel secure in the environment, to know that the environment was set up for them to do the best they could within it, and really starting to understand them a little bit on a level more than just footballing on the pitch.
The other thing that I guess is going to be a big challenge, because I was thinking about this as well, you've got the 3 different camps, and then you'll select the team. And for these women who were effectively rejected by their own country, you know, and having to find and establish new lives somewhere else, what happens with those who don't make the team this time? That's a whole new level of what will be disappointment as well.
You know, I think it's about that we understand that, you know, what's happened to them in the past, and they come from rejection, as you've suggested, Tracy, but letting them understand that this is just one part of their journey. You know, I've been involved in football for a long time, and players don't always get selected, and it's about, you know, there can be other opportunities in the future. You know, they're back in their own environment, they're playing football, there's, you know, we can support them with they're doing well, what they can improve, but it's more about their integration into their own communities and ensuring that we can continue to support them moving forward. And I think that's what we can do. We can really try to support players who are selected, but also, and maybe more importantly, support the players who are not selected.
So is there the plan that this will keep going as a team, and that at some point the team will be able to qualify for tournaments such as the Asian Cup?
I think the plan just now is it's a project. And I think in the bigger picture, of course, there are other ideas of what that might look like. I think this period, it's what's really unique about it, Tracy, is it gives us a chance to really look at the whole project and look at what was good, what could be better, how we can move it forward in the future. And I think right now we don't have the answers to that, but I'm sure by the end of the project we will. And always with the idea of taking care of the players, ensuring their safety is the most important thing, and looking at how we can develop something that could be fantastic for them and the broader picture for refugees across the whole world.
Fatima Yousefi was the captain of the Afghanistan women's team when they fled their country, many of them as a group finding their way to Melbourne in Australia. They've been supported there by the Melbourne Victory Football Club and other groups as they continue their journey making a new life in a new country. Has football remained a crucial part in the lives of all of you in the past 4 years since leaving Afghanistan?
Definitely, yes. Like 4 years sounds like a long time, but for us, it feels like both a blink and a lifetime. We have had to rebuild our lives from scratch, and well, it's been very necessary. It's also a reminder that our window to make an impact as an athlete is not unlimited, and there's a stronger drive now, and not just to compete, but to make every match count for the women and girls still in Afghanistan who can't play and who don't have the right to go for the education. And it's a lot, but again, thinking about that we made this happen with the struggling for 4 years, now having that chance, it's massive for us.
And do you know that the women and the girls back home in Afghanistan are following this story?
Definitely. When I posted about the trials, to be honest, it was very heartwarming as well. But again, it's very heartbreaking too at the same time, because I saw and I received a lot of messages and different comments that so many girls who were in Afghanistan and were part of the team or like club players, they were all asking like if there is any opportunity for us when we're in Afghanistan, is there any way for us to have the trials? Like, I didn't have that answer exactly like what, but I was positive and trying to be positive to give them that, the hope that one day it's going to be your turn. But it's just very hard to give the hope in Afghanistan for the girls who are in Afghanistan, because we know it's more than 4 years now that they don't have any rights, and every day they're taking away their rights as a human being. So yeah, I think it's just a good news for them as well, because we started with so many problems and struggles in Afghanistan on that time when we were younger. In my opinion, in a way, it's going to inspire them to think like not the dark days will not remain like this, and the change will happen if we're going to stick to our dreams and keep working hard on it to achieve it.
Whilst the excitement is palpable amongst the Afghan players in Australia, and presumably where other players are located ahead of FIFA's next 2 camps, which they haven't announced details of yet, the youth team players living in Houston desperately want to know that they are also going to be considered. Their volunteer coach, Rachel Fabre, and volunteer manager, Sarah Labowitz, explain how they virtually stumbled into the lives of the Afghanistan women's youth team, who are now calling themselves Houston Shine FC.
This was a group of female soccer players from Afghanistan that had spent the past 18 months in Albania trying to find their way. And unfortunately, they were here under the refugee program with little to no contact with soccer. So, kind of fast forward 2 years, and here they are with really nothing. And, we've spent the last 3 months basically developing back into a team and bringing that passion and that joy back into their lives. And really, it's just been so powerful just to see their growth, and not only in their, as a team, as a unit, but also everything else. English and what can be. Today we were just at a college soccer game watching them, and we're like, hey, do you think you can do this? Like they, yes, we would love, how do we do it? How can we? So it was just so inspiring to just see like the delight on their faces to be able to do that.
And how did you come across them? How did you connect?
So I'm a season ticket holder for the Houston Dash, which is our NWSL women's team. And I had some extra tickets. And my neighbor runs a great organization, or she recently retired, but it's called Connect Community. It does community development in an area in Houston where a lot of refugees live. And she said, oh, can I give these tickets to the members of the Afghan women's national soccer team that we've been working with? And I said, oh, yes. And tell me more. And so ended up taking 8 of them to their first professional women's game in the United States at the end of April. And it was a rain delay game. So we ended up spending like 6 hours together. And over the course of that 6 hours, I learned, they were like, oh, we've been here for 2 years, but we can't play because we don't have a field, we don't have cleats, we don't have shorts. And I was like, okay, those are solvable problems. And so then I left that game on a Friday night. I think I called Rachel on a Tuesday. And I was just sort of calling everyone I knew to be like, how do we get a field? How do we get cleats? How do we get a coach? And Rachel just said, okay, I'm in. Where are we practicing? And we've just gone from there.
And so have the women heard from FIFA at all in these last couple of months?
The message has been pretty unclear. I think that there have been some vague suggestions that they might hold a training camp here, but no firm details about a location or, I don't know that we have anything firm from people.
So what would you like to see? You were talking about creativity there and just like getting the vision of these women playing and the skills they have, live stream it, sending videos. Like, is that what you'd like? Would you like to be in touch with this FIFA team that is coordinating what is happening with the development of the Afghanistan women's refugee team?
Yeah, I think honestly, yes. Yes to all that. I think because there are players, not just in Houston. Houston just happens to have a kind of a little bit larger group, but I know that there are players in California, probably on the Northeast, that, if it's 1 here, 10 here, 5 there, but I think that is a refugee. And if you're really calling it a refugee, team, then make sure you find them if they're to be found, and make sure you put eyes on them. Whether they make it or not is like, that's for the coach to decide, right? But I feel like just put eyes on them. I want to be seen. I don't want to have my ending, like my, the chapter closed on because I came to Houston and then boop, that's it.
Yeah.
Because these girls like promise their parents and a couple of the girls, have already lost parents since they've been here and haven't had a chance to see them again. And they want nothing more than to just say, hey, we were seen, and I think that is really, really important for that to happen. If we are truly saying this is a refugee, team, then let's find the refugees, and they've been found.
Well, and I would say too, I mean, one of the things I took away from the coverage of the training camp in Sydney was that the coach was very clear that the women were going to get social services, employment services, sort of the social and mental health support that these women have really been asking FIFA for the last 2 years. And it's not just about the on the field experience. It's about what does it mean to be a female athlete refugee and the many struggles that comes with. So, I could see something really powerful about bringing together those women from Virginia, from Boston, from California, the women here in Houston, and like bringing them together to have soccer be something really celebratory and joyful, where they're not just playing together, but they're maybe connecting with women around the world. They're getting access to those services that they have been really like begging FIFA for the last 2 years. So I think there's a lot that could happen here.
Well, look, I'm just thrilled that you got in touch with me, because I love, you think about the world and we often think we're disconnected, and we really aren't, because all the jigsaw puzzle pieces fit together somehow. And this is just another connection with regard to the incredible story of the women athletes from Afghanistan. So I thank you for your time, and I'll forward you some numbers and details. I hope to follow, and please stay in touch with me about the development of these players and how they're going, and the work that you're putting in.
And we're just really grateful for the coverage that you're doing too. And, I feel really connected to other, women supporting women around the world, especially in athletics. So we're part of the club now.
Well, thank you both. And again, I love the name of the Houston Shine. It's fabulous.
HoustonShineFC.org. We just launched our Instagram this morning, but, would love to connect with folks. So
yeah, great. And I hope some of the Afghanistan women's footballers here connect with your group there, and now they've got a place to go to be able to do that.
Yeah, that would actually be honestly truly remarkable if we could have like a Zoom or something with them to feel just some little inkling of connection.
Yeah,
it would be awesome.
I've been told FIFA is aware of this team in Houston and keeping an eye on what is happening. But the precarious political situation in the USA at the moment is challenging for the risk-averse international governing body. However, with the FIFA Men's World Cup to be co-hosted in the USA next year, FIFA does have some leverage. Thanks for your company on the Sports Ambassador, and a very special thanks to my subscribers, because it's you who enable me to keep telling these stories of sport that matter. I'm Tracy Holmes. See you next week.